All right, friends, welcome back. Today we're talking Saxon Algebra 1, lesson 72b. So I already talked about the other one in the previous video. We're talking about pyramids and cones. Grab your notebook. You're going to want to write this down. All right, so for our volume for a pyramid or a cone, you take the area of the base, multiply it by the height, and you cut it in, divide it by 3. So we're cutting it into thirds. The reason we do that is because if we had a prism and a pyramid with the exact same base, it would take 3 of those pyramids. You could fill up the prism. It's kind of interesting, but we divide it by 3. So that is for volume. For cones and pyramids, we have lateral area and surface area. Now, lateral area is just the upright facing. It doesn't include the base. So it's all those sides, those triangles. This book doesn't really go through a whole lot of lateral area, but it is good to know. You'll also notice that so the surface area itself is all the lateral area plus the base. So you'll notice that the lateral area is included in the surface area. So you take the lateral area and then you find the area of the base. Lateral area and then you find the area of the base. So what's most important here is going to be these two things right here and your volume. Okay, so let's jump right in and practice some of these. So we've got, let me get this out of the way. Oh, and I'm so sorry. You should probably also write this down. L stands for, I can't move my paper. L stands for slant height, P for perimeter, and B, when it's capitalized like that, that means area of the base. So again, that's why it's capitalized right here, area of the base, area of the base. This fancy L is the slant height and the P is the perimeter of the base. Okay, so let's get right to it. All right, let's take a peek at example number 4. So for example number 4, we are definitely not going to judge my terribly drawn pyramids here in this unit because I don't know how to draw. I've been doing this like 20 years and I still don't know how to draw. We're going to find the volume. The volume, remember, is the area of the base times it by the height of the 3D object itself, not the height of the base, divided by 3. So we look at this and we see this base is a rectangle because it's 9 by 17. It's a 4-sided figure, 9 by 17. The way that we would find the area of the base is multiply 9 times 7. And so that gives us 63 inches squared. So our volume equals 63 times the height of the object is this right in here. If it was along the side here, that's the slant height. That's the slanty bit, not the height of the actual object. This object is 8 inches. And then we divide by 3. Now we can make our lives a little easier here. 63 divided by 3 is going to give me 21. So divide this by 3, I get 1. Divide this by 3, I get 21, which means my volume is 21 times 8 over 1. And so 1 doesn't matter on the bottom. So 21 times that by 8, we end up with 168 inches cubed. So there's my volume. All right, let's try and find the volume of the cone. Remember, volume equals the area of the base times it by the height divided by 3. Now, the base in this case is a circle. And how do we find the area of a circle? Remember, this is how I remember it. For circumference, cherry is delicious pie. So the circumference is the diameter times pi. Apple pies are 2. So for our area, we take the radius squared times pi. So for the area of the base, we're going to take the radius squared. We're going to multiply that by pi. So the area of the base is 36 pi. So let's take that information back over to our volume. Our area of our base is 36 times pi times our height, which we know is 8. All of that divided by 3. Now I could multiply 36 times 8 and then divide by 3, but why don't I just cancel out? So divide by 3, I get 1. Divide by 3, I get 12. Okay, so that means on the bottom, I just have 1. That's great. And then I have 12 times 8, which is 96 pi. And we're talking feet cubed. You can leave it as that, or you can multiply it by pi if you would like. But I think this is a more accurate answer because you want to leave it in terms of pi. All right, let's talk about that surface area now. Surface area. So for example 6, we're going to find the surface area of this, again, poorly drawn pyramid here. And it is a square pyramid this time because these sides are the same, right? So for our surface area for our pyramid, we've got surface area equals the oh yeah, sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. Lateral slant height times the perimeter divided by 2 plus the area of the base. So the area of the base in this case, let's figure that out. B is going to equal 6 times 6. So the area of the base equals 36. Now, the other things we need are our slant height, which we have, that's that 5, and then our perimeter of our base. So we have our slant height equals 5, and our perimeter, remember perimeter is adding up all the sides around the base. So 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 times 4, so we get 24. So we can take this information now, I'll cross that out. So we can take this all this information back over here. Our surface area equals the lateral, which is 5, times the perimeter, which is 24, divide that by 2, plus 36. Okay, over here I could multiply and then reduce, but divide by 2 I get 1, divide by 2 I get 12. So that gives me the surface area equals 60 plus 36. So my surface area is going to be, and remember surface area is all the pyramids, like the faces of them and the base. So that's going to be 96, we're talking centimeters squared, because we've got, centimeters squared. So find the surface area of this cone. So let's talk about that. Surface area of a cone is radius squared plus radius times the slant height, all of that times pi. So in this case, we have the surface area equals, and remember that's because our radius squared is like this, it's our base, right? So the area of the base, which is 8, or our radius squared, so area of the base is 8 squared times 5, so plus the radius, which is 8, times our slant height, which is 10, all of that times pi. So over here we've got 64 and 80. So our surface area equals, I've been making lots of mistakes, 144, just wanted to make sure, 144 pi, because I've been making a lot of mistakes today, and of course if I went to add 64 and 80, I would definitely make a mistake. So that's meters squared, because we're talking about meters. Okay, let's do some practice problems so that you can see. Here are your practice problems. Pause the video, do these, and then come on back. All right, formula, volume equals area of the base times the height divided by 3. And in this case, the area of the base is going to be, it's a rectangle, and so it's going to be 8 by 10, which means it's 80 times the height of the 3D figure, which is 12, divided by 3. All right, divide this by 3, we get 1. Divide this by 3, we get 4. So the volume equals 320 centimeters cubed. Too many C words. All right, the surface area for this cone. Remember, surface area equals, for our cone is going to be radius squared plus radius times the slant height times pi. So the surface area is 9. Did I write that right? Let's just double check. Yeah, it is 9. Okay, that looks so weird. 9 squared plus 9 times 15 for our slant height. All of that garbage times pi. So 81 plus 15 times 9 gives me 135. All of that times pi. So when we combine those, we end up with surface area equals 216 pi meters squared. Okay, so that is our volume and surface area for pyramids and cones. Hopefully you've got that. If you have any questions, leave them below. Otherwise, we will see you next time.